Tutorial video instructions. This is a video. Students can and should often stop, start, and rewind the video to better read, hear, and understand the video content. There are 8 tutorial topics in the RMA Algebra 1 video collection. Each topic starts with a segment that defines the topic objectives. Students should stop the video and read the objectives carefully. Each topic ends with a segment that summarizes the topic takeaways. Students should stop the video and read the takeaways carefully. Students who master the video content will pass the EOC exam. Topic 5 of 8, Graphing Inequalities. Objectives. The student will be able to 1. Graph solution set of linear inequalities in 2 variables. 2. Graph solution set of systems of 2 linear inequalities in 2 variables.
Hello, I'm Ms. Castillo, and today we're going to look at graphing inequalities. All right, so let's look at our first problem. It says, which graph represents the inequality negative 2x plus 7y is less than or equal to 112? Well, let's review over inequality symbols. Okay. Now, remember about inequality symbols when we have less than or equal to, when we have greater than or equal to, because it has the equal sign underneath, that means it is also equal. So those lines will be solid. And when we have the inequality symbols less than or greater than without the equal sign underneath, that means it is not also equal. So those lines are going to be dashed. Now, let's see if we can eliminate any answer choices. So from our inequality symbol, we have less than or equal to. So from our notes here, we can see that our line is going to be solid. So looking at answer choice A, here you can see that that is a dashed line, so we can automatically eliminate A. And if you look at answer choice D, here this is also a dashed line, and we can also eliminate this one as well. Now let's solve for our inequality, and we can graph it on the calculator. Notice that our inequality is in standard form, and so we would need to convert from standard form to slope-intercept form, or y equals. That way, we would be able to graph it. Okay, so here we have negative 2x plus 7y is less than or equal to 112. Okay, so if you remember from class, you'll remember that we can convert from standard form to slope-intercept form in 2 easy steps. Step 1, move all of x over to the right. So we're going to do the opposite of negative. It will be positive. Okay. So on the left-hand side, that crosses out. Now let's bring everything down. So we have 7y is less than or equal to, and I'll write 2x first, plus the 112. Then the second and final step, everything in front of y, we're going to do the opposite of multiply, we're going to divide. So in this case, we're going to divide everything by 7. on to the right. And remember, you need to divide everything on the right to keep the equation balanced. Okay, so here on the left, 7 over 7 becomes our magical 1. Y is less than or equal to 2/7 x plus, and then we'll have the calculator do our fraction for us, 1/12 over 7. Now let's go to the calculator and graph this. Okay, so now at the calculator, we're going to press y equals, and our inequality symbol is less than or equal to. So let's go ahead and arrow over to in front of the y1, so that way we can change that to an inequality. So we will have our shaded region. Okay, so we'll hit enter, and then we will go down to line. Then if we arrow once, this one with the triangle above, that will be greater than. If we arrow one more time, we'll get the triangle on the bottom. That is less than, and that is what we're looking for. So OK, and hit enter. So now that we have our inequality symbol, arrow back to in front of the equal sign, and now we can type in our inequality. Okay, we did have a fraction of 2/7. So alpha y equals numerator over denominator, so hit enter. So 2/7 x plus, and then we had the 1/12 over 7. Alpha y equals, hit enter. Now that we have it graphed, you can see that the full view is shaded in. So let's see if we can zoom out. Hit zoom, number 3 for zoom out, and then hit enter. Now here, looking at the graph, we did have y is less than or equal to. So for less than or equal to, that means that all the y values on the y-axis are going to be less than or below the y-intercept. So here, looking at the answer choices, we had already eliminated A and D, and we did say that our inequality is less than or equal to, so all of the shading will be below. The answer is C. Good job. Now you try it. So I'll pause the video, and then you can work through the problem, and then we'll review it here in a couple of minutes. Okay, now let's review over the problem. It says, which graph represents the inequality negative 2x plus 3y is greater than 12? Now, if you remember about inequality symbols, if we have an inequality symbol that is greater than or less than without the equal sign, remember this is going to be dashed. So let's see if we can eliminate any answer choices. So looking here, we do have answer choice B and D that have a solid line, because that is going to include equal to. So here we can eliminate B and D. Now, let's solve for this inequality. Notice that it is in standard form as well, and we're going to convert it to slope-intercept form, or y equals, so we can graph it. Okay, so we have negative 2x plus 3y is greater than 12. Remember, in 2 easy steps from standard form to slope-intercept form. Step 1, move all of x over to the right. So we're going to do the opposite of negative 2x. Positive 2x on the right. On the left, we'll cross that out. Now let's bring everything down. 3y is greater than, I'll write x first, 2x plus 12. And then the second and final step, everything in front of y, we're going to do the opposite of multiply, and we're going to divide. And remember that we're going to divide everything on the right by 3 to keep the equation balanced. So now on the left, 3 over 3 becomes our magical 1. Y is greater than 2/3 x plus, and then 12 divided by 3 simplifies to 4. Now let's go to our calculator to graph this. Now that we go to y equals, let's plug in our inequality. Now first, let's change our inequality for shading. So we're going to arrow to the left in front of y1. Now in this case, we are looking for greater than. So we'll hit enter, arrow down once, and then arrow right once. That is the triangle on the top, so that is going to be greater than, and that's what we want. And then hit OK. Okay, now we're going to arrow twice in front of the equals, and now we can type in our inequality. We did have a fraction of 2/3, so we'll use alpha y equals numerator over denominator. X plus 4. And then let's hit graph. And there's our graph. Now, since it was y is greater than, that means the shaded part is going to be greater, or it's going to increase on the y-axis. So let's go back to our problem and check our answer choices. Now here, since our inequality symbol was greater than, you can see answer choice A, the shading is increasing. So the answer is A.
Topic 5 of 8. Graphing inequalities. Takeaways. 1. The greater than and less than symbols mean to use a dotted line. 2. The greater than or equal to and the less than or equal to are solid lines. 3. The calculator only has the ability to graph solid lines, so make sure to make a note on your test that you will need to only observe the shading part from the calculator.